Hey guys, very nice evening, everyone. Today is a remarkable day for Talkeando Podcast because today is our first episode completely in English. So I'm a bit nervous.
I'm a bit nervous
confess.
too.
And yeah, this is our episode number 40. And tonight we're gonna talk with Ross O'Connor from Talk to Ross.
Hello, how are you doing, Thales?
I'm good.
All right, good to see you, lad.
Good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
No problem.
It's an honor to have you here.
It was an honor to receive your invitation. No, thank you for inviting me. I had to get trains to get to here. Even though Dublin is a small place sometimes, I still had to go for public transport because I have no driver's license. And I'm also drinking beer. So don't drink and drive, children, okay?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm so happy for you to go to make all those efforts to come and have just a chat with
my pleasure.
just a Brazilian guy here.
Absolutely. Yeah, my
So
pleasure.
yeah, for who to don't is coming here for the first time, he doesn't know what is Talkeando Podcast. Talkeando is just a conversation between two or more people. We believe that each people in this world have a story to say that can motivate or change other lives. And then we bring just wonderful people here to have a shot for 1 hour and a half or more, maybe 4 hours, depends.
Could be maybe 40 hours, I think. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not going
But
home.
our guest tonight has to took the train around 11 or something.
11, yeah.
I hope,
Rock and roll.
I promise I will. I'll make our effort to don't take long.
Oh, don't be worried about it. We'll have fun. We've got 2 hours of high-tech conversation.
Yes.
We're going to change the world.
Yes,
Right here at
That's
this
the first
table.
step to change the world because we hope now to achieve more people. Is achieve more people the way to
Achieve. Yeah, let's go for reach. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So, since it's your first time here, and if you like this conversation, please subscribe in our channel. So to help us to reach more people.
Yep.
And follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram is Talkeando Podcast. Our Facebook is Talkeando Podcast. We are on Twitch too. So Talkeando Podcast and YouTube Talkeando Podcast.
Basically, there's no escape.
Yeah, there's no escape.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you could go to the bathroom and there's the podcast. You're waiting at the bus. There's the podcast. What a world.
Yeah. So we are on Spotify too and other platforms as well.
My mother's going to be so proud.
Oh, that
On
really?
Spotify, you know? No, I'm only joking. My mother wouldn't even know what Spotify is. She probably thinks it's a disease or something. Oh my God, you've got Spotify!
But you're on YouTube too.
Sorry?
You're on YouTube too.
I'm on YouTube
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. So my YouTube channel is a little bit different. The reason how I started this whole Brazil thing is because I'm a musician. And I'm a drummer. So
nice.
I'm playing drums 25 years, and but I'll get into that story about like, how I met the guys and all that kind of thing. But
I thought it was just like about historic stuff. And,
well,
about
when I was a
music.
kid, I got into history, and then I discovered music when I was a teenager.
Cool.
And then I fell back into both. So I'm doing both now, music and history. I play in a band. But,
I saw you. You posted about the Irish drum.
Oh yeah, the bowron. Yeah,
bowron,
the
yeah.
bowron. Yeah, that's a really cool instrument. It's very ancient.
Yeah. First time I saw
Yeah.
this instrument was with the band The Course.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad bought a DVD.
The chorus
like,
made it look a
long
lot
time
more
ago.
sexy than I would. Yeah. I'm just a hairy red man. You've got the beautiful core sisters here playing. So easy. But I forgot what I was starting with. But
you joined the band.
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
started joining bands when I was 15 and stuff like that. And I guess that's where I kind of got confidence a little bit because growing up, I mean, I wasn't nervous or anything, but music, and if you get good at playing music and you play some shows, I think people, they kind of feed off that and you get a bit more confidence. So it stands to you when you're doing crazy stuff like this.
But you always wanted to be on the stage, like playing drums or acting or something like that. So you're kind of an artist, actually.
Yeah. Well, I'll never be an electrician or like a plumber or a car mechanic. So I thought I'd just play to my strengths, which is music and words, I suppose. But yeah, when I was a kid, I think I was 7 years old. I joined the local theatre group, and I enjoyed playing in some local exhibition shows. And then I got the lead role. I remember one Christmas, and I couldn't remember all my lines for what to say.
Okay.
And I got really nervous. And I was like, oh, Jesus.
This has happened with me on the school. I used to. I was going to the classes but I didn't give a shit to the strings. And then I didn't know the day that we actually presented the play. Yeah. And I wasn't remember any word. And
I bet you were at home and you were marking all of the lines. Yeah. And you were like, I have this. This is professional. This is perfect. And then, it's like in the hospital.
It didn't work. I tried to have the words in front of me in the paper, but it didn't work at all.
But that's
and it was a shame.
Yeah.
Completely shame.
And was that the day, like me, when I forgot my lines? It's like, okay, I'm not going to be an actor anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Was traumatic.
I think that from that day I didn't act on stage. I jumped on stage and did other things and stuff like that, but I didn't have any responsibility for speaking. So, but I'd love to maybe get back into that one day. I think lockdown has made us appreciate maybe learning new skills or remembering old skills that we had when we were younger.
What did you learn during the lockdown?
Oh, wow. I learned a lot about patience. Patience, really? Just really breathing, and not really, stuff. Not even like conscious meditation or like yoga or anything like that. It was just, those lockdown days where you're sitting at home and you're kind of talking to yourself and you're thinking, what's important in my life, or who are the people I need to worry about, or who are the people I don't have to worry about, and that kind of happened, and I just gradually started to relax a bit more. And I realized what was important in my life and what was, what wasn't. So that's what it taught me. I also got back into reading. When I was a kid, I loved books. I used to eat books. I don't mean physically eat books. Now call me livre.
Yeah. No call livro.
Exactly. See, I have eu falo um pouquinho. But because I got into this habit for years when I was playing music and then working. I'd go home, put on YouTube, put on the PlayStation, and then just go to sleep. But then, and then my brain was going crazy.
I think that's one of the problems of the adult's life. Yep. We have the freedom to do whatever we want. And then when we start doing something that our mom, how can I say, deny us to do. And then we're like, oh, I do now whatever I want to do. And then and there's a time we don't see there is I have no control anymore about it. This has happened with you.
It did happen with me. Yeah. Where basically you have anything, as you said, anything that you want to do, you can do. But we choose to stay doing the things that is habitual.
Yeah.
That's a habit. Like just saying, oh, well, I guess I've played PlayStation for years. I think I'll do that. You might buy one book, but the book will sit beside you on the couch or the table, and it's looking at you. But you're not going to open the page because you think, you're afraid of making that first step. It's like if you're learning to drive a car. It's like if there's a girl that you like and you're afraid to talk to her or something. I don't know. It's just, that first time is always the worst. It's the same when we wake up in the morning. I'm really bad at waking up in the morning. I am really, really fucking bad. But there's this technique where apparently it's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 theory. Where you force yourself. Yes, it's like, okay, I'm awake. Don't be talking crap. Just get up out of bed.
Or count on 5.
Oh, 5 hours for me, more like it.
There's a
man,
technique.
I'm so bad.
Yeah, there's a technique if you're lazy to do something right now, just count on 5 and do it straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if you've swam in Irish water for the first time. And everyone's like, it's so cold. I'm like, yeah, I know it is. But take 5 seconds just to go, okay, this is crap, this is crap, this is crap. And then, okay, it's good. Well, not good, but
sometimes it's good to put in a position that you have no chance to go return. Like, for example, a friend of mine invited me to dive on the Christmas.
Oh,
here.
On Christmas Day?
Yeah.
Christmas swim.
Yeah, Christmas
That's a
swim.
big thing in Ireland. A lot of people do charity swims. They'll pick one charity and everyone donates money and then they just jump into the water. Crazy, milky white, tasty Irish people.
But before I jumped, I was in the queue.
Yeah.
And then when it was my time to jump, I I thought about like, no, let's wait a little bit more.
Yeah.
But there was an Irish guy behind me, and I said like, oh, you can go. Like, no, after you. Like, also, there's no choice for me anymore. So and then I just jumped.
There you go. That was the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 theory again.
And
forced you to do
and
it.
after that, I jumped 3 more times.
Oh yeah. I had a friend of mine from Bahia, and he never ever swam in Irish water ever until he came to like my town, Rush, and he just brought a change of clothes and he just jumped into the water, and he's like, "It's crap, it's terrible," but you know, you got to do it. But generally, yeah. So that's kind of one of the things that lockdown taught me was getting patience and prioritizing who's important and what to worry about and what not to worry about.
Oh yeah, I figured out this because I've got a lot of contracts with freelance jobs.
Oh, good.
Because I thought like, oh, I'm gonna have a lot of free time.
Yeah.
But no, this was a mistake because I actually have over with a lot of work to do.
Okay.
And
What kind of work?
IT.
IT.
Yeah, like programming and stuff, like
Okay.
doing websites for other people.
So yeah, so you were working from home a lot.
Yeah.
So your plan of moving around during a pandemic.
Yeah.
There you go. I was working as a tour guide. So I was going to like the cliffs of Moher and Giant's Causeway and places like that.
How is to work like that? I always see a lot of guys on the place I go. And they say that they do this for free, but it's not for free because you always give some money at the end.
Yeah,
of the tour.
there are people who do free walking tours, but no, I was like working for a company, like
nice.
paying tax and everything.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
Yeah, so like I'd be, you'd leave Dublin at 8:00 in the morning, and you're on a bus with 60 people, and you have a microphone, and you talk about Ireland, and hey, where are you from? Oh, Holland. Where are you from? Spain. Where are you from? Oh, Germany. Oh, great. And then before the end of the day, they're your friends. Maybe they leave you a tip, say, hey, get yourself a beer. Maybe they don't. But it reminded me of playing concerts, like playing music. It had that same thrill of standing in front of people and sharing not your musical knowledge this time, but your history knowledge this time.
Yeah.
And then I remember one day I had a girl from Portugal on the bus, and I was telling them a story about the Troubles in Northern Ireland, and she was crying, and I went, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, it's just I never realized your history was so sad." So that was one of them kind of rewarding days, you know. So yeah, no, there was no chance of me during lockdown to, how can I say, work distantly. I couldn't like have a Zoom call and go to like the cliffs of Moher on a bus or something.
Nice.
You know, I couldn't physically go to the cliffs of Moher. I had to stay at home. So I did lose my job during the pandemic. And that's why my Instagram kind of started. I was bored at home.
Oh, your Instagram started during the lockdown?
Well, no, my Instagram started at the end of 2019. Two friends of mine, a Brazilian friend of mine and an Irish friend of mine, they suggested that I should start my own Instagram page. And I said, why? Because I was doing videos with the guys from Dublin. So I just kind of said to them, like, I'm not going to say anything different to what I say on Dublin. But then they said to me, yeah, but like, you're just talking about food and those videos. And it was the platform. It's what helped me get to where my page is now, and for people to know me and stuff like that. I'm very grateful. But they said, why not talk about Ireland, like music and history? And I said, yeah, but there's other pages that do that. And they're like, yeah, but not in your way. Not in my way. And I'm like, really? Okay. So I tried. And people loved it. Because when my Instagram page started up, my Talk to Ross page, when I was looking on Instagram, I used to kind of look around and look at other pages. And it was either a picture of the Temple Bar pub or a picture of the cliffs of Moher. And I'm like, you're not talking about Ireland. Yeah. You're just trying to sell something, you know? And for me, I've never sold anything on my page. I've never earned any money from the internet, €0.
Really?
Yeah. Anything I've ever done, it's a hobby. When you see the like when you see the Portuguese subtitles on my reels, that is literally me sitting at home, writing in English into Google Translate, into Portuguese, copy and paste. I will highlight 5 or 6 words on my smartphone, copy and paste, and will that work? And then another 5 or 6 letters, And then people say to me, "Oh, but you don't speak Portuguese." And I'm like, yeah, but out of the respect for the 95% of people on my Instagram page that are from Brazil, I owe it to them to give them Portuguese subtitles. Okay,
Amazing.
like maybe you guys here are more comfortable, like you can understand me speaking, but everyone's trying to learn.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I have to take another hour out of my day to help those people who need a little bit more help with English. So it's got nothing to do really with me. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but basically, long story short, that's the reason why I put Portuguese subtitles into my
That's
stories,
amazing.
to help people who want to understand about Ireland, but maybe their English isn't so good. Like, I remember like sometimes I'd be on WhatsApp and like I use the app that I use. Here's some of the secrets, boys and girls. The app that I use for my reels is called InShot, and it's the pro version, so it's got more,
Yeah, I think I have this one, but I don't
it's
use properly.
awesome. It's so powerful. Like, you don't need Final Cut Pro or like Sony Vegas or Photoshop or anything. You can do all of this stuff on your smartphone. But I would edit and I'd have another tab open and it'd be WhatsApp and there'd be 2 or 3 of my Brazilian friends. And I'm like, here's a rough demo of this reel that I'm going to put up on Instagram. Would you be able to make sure that all of the words are
the
correct
words are
and
right,
everything?
yeah.
And they'd be telling me, maybe take out this one, maybe take out that one. So before I post anything on Instagram, I always put one of my videos into one of my best Brazilian friends, Felipe. He was always helping me. And
Thanks,
then
Felipe.
Hey Felipe,
Nice.
what's happening, Mr. Noguera? He's very, very clever boy indeed. But that was, I consult people like Felipe and make sure everything is okay, because the Portuguese that they use in Google Translate is Portuguese from Portugal.
Yeah, it's a
So
legit-
sometimes
yes.
some of the words were a little bit strange as well. But
They get angry when you say we speak Brazilians. We
yeah,
speak Brazilian.
Yeah.
Then Portuguese.
I know. Yeah. Oh,
we
come
have
here.
to say Brazilian Portuguese. No.
Yeah.
But how does it start? Like your story with the Brazilians? Because
Well,
we now, I think,
how long have we got?
Yeah. As long as it wants.
Yeah.
But the consular of the embassy came here and told us, like, we have an average 70,000 Brazilians around the country, and it's growing. So
and I don't see it stopping, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think
Probably not.
the community is so ingrained here. Well, to go back and answer your original question. So, let's see, where does this begin? I knew some Brazilian friends anyway, because when I was playing music in the city center, like, because there's so many of you guys, I'd have Irish friends, I'd have friends from Germany, I'd have friends from Brazil, because I'd be playing places like Fibbers, or there used to be a place on Dame Street called Sweeney's, and it would be where people from all over the world would gather. So you'd get people's phone numbers and, hey, how's it going? And hey, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Bolivia or Scotland or whatever. So I had Brazilian friends anyway. But what started this whole kind of trajectory, I was friends with Edu from Dublin.
Yeah.
So as I was saying before, I play drums. I've been playing drums in rock bands for 25 years.
Cool.
And Edu is also a drummer.
He's a drummer too.
Yeah, and we used to play shows around Dublin about 10 years ago.
Wow.
Because I used to work with his guitar player, a guy called Stu. Really, really good guitar player. And yeah, it was like anything. We'd have a few beers after a show and, hey, here, swap Facebook. And you become friends on Facebook. And yeah, I became friends with Edu. Like, we wouldn't see each other every week or anything like that. But it was, we played gigs.
Kept in touch.
Yeah. And one day, I was in the city centre, and I always remember, I was in the wool shed, or the Australiano.
The famous Australiano.
Yeah, but this time it was a Sunday afternoon. So it had nothing to do with samba or anything like that. So
just some guys drinking
just some
beers and
we're
chicken
drinking beer,
wings.
and Ireland were exactly
chicken wings.
Yeah, chicken wings. Oh, the chicken wings are great.
I love it.
Ireland were playing Uruguay in a friendly in the Aviva Stadium, and I was watching the game. And I was just having a beer and I was checking my phone. And like on Facebook, you get event invites. And one popped up and it was from Edu. And it said, Brazilian party Wigwam, Abbey Street, tonight. And I'm thinking, what time is it? It's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
Tonight.
I could maybe have another couple of beers here. And, hey, what are you doing? You want to go to Wigwam? Yeah, sure. So me and two of my smelly Irish friends, we said, yeah, let's go.
Irish.
Yeah. And we went to Wigwam, and we walked through the door, and you know the cowboy movies when like in the USA or whatever, like in the 19th century, they walk into a saloon and they open the doors and there's a guy playing a piano, ding 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 ding, and everybody just goes, shoom. That was us. I could just feel half of Brazil just go
staring at you like.
It was like in the Bad video by Michael Jackson. You know when you hear the. So all these, there's like 100 Brazilian people just looking at me and my two, and we're just like, "Hello, we're from Dublin. How are you doing?" And I walked in, and we're like, "Okay, this is unique," and we started talking to these girls who are actually, I call them now my Brazilian sisters because they're actually all still living here. They're either married to Irish guys or they have kids or they got citizenships or they're living here and they're working here and they're all still here. So it was almost like the night that changed my life, basically. I met these dear friends. And Edu was up on stage and he was doing the E-Dublin thing and he was talking and he's like, hey, you know, of course he's speaking Portuguese. Yeah. And so that's fine. I was talking to the guys and then I'm having a beer. And then all I hear from the stage in perfect English was Edu saying, okay, we need 3 Brazilian people on the stage and we need 3 Irish people on the stage. Ross, you're Irish. You come up here. And I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, that's
I was
how
so embarrassed. And
that's how we do it.
Yeah. And of course, no Brazilian person knew who I was. They were just kind of like, oh, hello, oi, huivo. Yeah. And like, no, it wasn't like now it's like, oh, Ross, oh, yeah. But now back then it was nothing. So it was a drinking competition. So I don't know if you guys, I'm sure any of the guys who are watching this, if you're following the community long enough, there's a girl called Jess who did videos with E-Dublin, an Irish girl. Yeah. And I met Jess Glynn, her name is. She's a lovely girl, absolutely lovely girl. And she's getting married to a Brazilian guy very soon. But long story short, she was one of the Irish people up on stage drinking a beer. And she turned around to me and she said, Ross, I've never drank a pint of beer before. And she was against this other Brazilian girl on stage. And she just went, whoa, in one go. And I'm like, you kicked her ass. She's like, did I? I'm like, yeah. So, and then the funny thing, now here's like, my God, this should be a 7-hour long episode. So the guy that I was matched up with to drink a beer in the competition against was a guy called Andre, and he was from Sao Paulo. And it turned out that a couple of years later, when I went to Brazil for the first time, I had no accommodation in Sao Paulo. And then Andre...
When was that?
Oh, that was 2018 was my first time in Brazil, and then 2020 was my second time before COVID. But Andre was... he messaged me on Facebook and said, I've got a friend who lives in Paraíso. And I said, oh, okay, cool. And he helped me out with accommodation. So it's just kind of crazy. Those girls that I talked to for the first time, it wasn't even a case of, oh, they're really pretty. Oh, maybe they're like, you know, it was nothing like that. We were really good friends and we're still friends. I'm still doing E-Dublin videos. And Andre was the guy who helped me out in Sao Paulo, and I've been friends with him for a few years as well. So there was just so many different things happened that night. Long story short, I didn't know that video was being recorded. And everyone was like, oh, Ross, you were really funny in that YouTube video. I said, what YouTube video? Oh, yeah, they're filming you drinking a beer on stage in Wigwam. Really? What?
You didn't know that?
I didn't have a bloody clue. And then I had to get my Google Translate. What the hell are all these people talking about? Ele é uma figura. What does that mean? It's a good thing. Okay, it's a good thing. Shit, I knew nothing. So what happened was
like
a few months.
Fun,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had no idea. All I did was drink a beer on stage, and people thought it was funny. So that's how everything began. And then a few months later, I was invited back to Wigwam, and there was an acai video.
Okay.
So I tried acai for the first time, and then from then
You
it was
start-
it snowballed. That was 4 years ago that I did the acai video, beginning of 2018, and I've been in. I've been in so many videos since. It's been a crazy ride. It's been a very crazy ride.
Well,
I always tell or not even the joke, but I always say I spent years of my life trying to be a famous musician, but then I just eat food on the internet, and then everyone thinks I'm fucking amazing.
yeah.
No, it is amazing. I'm very grateful for
What
it.
what made you want to be like famous as a musician? Do you have a like?
I think when I was a kid growing up in Ireland, U2 were still pretty big.
Yeah.
So there's the influence of my older cousin. He loved U2. And my uncle used to be like their chauffeur sometimes. Like he'd drive them to this recording studio or to some of their concerts. And when I was a kid, I was given 2 drumsticks. One was from Larry Mullen from U2, and the other drum kit was from Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden, because my uncle was driving the Iron Maiden guys as well. And so, I don't know, just when I was a kid, just me like hitting these drumsticks off like a shoebox or a pillow or something just gave me that. And I always remember when I was a kid, when I used to memorize the advertisements. I used to remember the advertisements on the TV, and I'd be dancing and learning. Like, if it was a Coca-Cola commercial, me and my sister would be learning the commercial. Or if something came on the radio, we'd remember all the songs. It's just the way we're made. Some people are born to be amazing scientists. Some people are born to be amazing mechanics. Some people are born to, remember songs and be more expressive, like artistic or whatever. It's just the way I was made, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't think like what we do means what we are.
Exactly.
What we do is just an activity.
That's right. What we do is to pay the bills or whatever. Now
we have to do something to make some money,
of course,
and then pay the bills.
Well, it's like your job. You work with IT and programming. That's a job that I'd call like a vocation, which means it's a calling. It's something that you want to do. If you didn't want to be a programmer, you would have quit a long time ago, because there's a lot of college to go through. There's degrees, there's diplomas. So it's not just like a job that you can pick up and put down. So I think if you find your calling or your vocation, then you're lucky. I think after a long, long time, I found my vocation, because it's all well and good playing music and stuff like that, but if you're not making money, like I worked other jobs in between all that, but now I'm back working in tourism, and I love it, and I get to talk about music for a living. It's amazing. So it's nice. Yeah, I work in a recording studio in Dublin. Yeah, it's good.
When I was 12, my dad gave me my first guitar.
Oh yeah.
But I just practiced like once a while.
And your mother wanted to smash it over your head.
But then like I think 3 years ago I bought another guitar for me. Yeah. But now I have 3 guitars. 4, I mean.
And do you play?
Yeah.
Okay, daily. I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, but now, but I don't want to be like a professional or something like that. I just want to like know how to play and have fun.
Do it because you love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And like,
but I'm getting addictive of instruments.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to buy like beside you there's a triangle.
I want to see if this triangle is in tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the other.
Oh yeah, we need the string, yeah.
The other side.
Oh.
The other side of the stick.
Oh, this one? Yeah, let's see.
This one.
Oh yeah. There we go. Oh wow. Amazing. I love triangles.
Yeah, this
guys, amazing.
We're using the more in forró. Do you know?
Of course I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm always
Bob is singing behind the camera right now.
So I'm always around instruments. Like my cajon is down. Is here holding the TV,
Micah Hahn holds my speaker. That's what, yeah. Micah Hahn holds my speaker. They're amazing holders.
Yep.
But
I'm sad about it.
yeah.
Like I need to buy a box to put instead of Micah home because I feel sad
Yeah, I know.
to have my instruments holding that.
Yeah, you kind of feel like you want to cry when you see your
Yeah.
poor little instrument with like music resting on it. I'm the same as you, man. Like what you said a minute ago about needing instruments or obsessed with instruments. What like everybody, like when they're relaxing, they have maybe their laptop beside them or they'll have their phone. Maybe you'll have like, I don't know, like your guitar beside you watching TV. Like I'd be the same as that. Like during lockdown, I'd be on my couch at home and I'd have a couple of history books. I'd have my acoustic guitar with the high E string missing. So I haven't played like a proper D chord in a while because this finger here won't play the bottom string.
yeah.
You know, so I'm like, oh crap. And a tin whistle. So you know the Irish traditional, you know, yeah. So I bought one of them during lockdown, as well as a bicycle and some weights and stuff like that. And lockdown purchases, you know. So yeah, that's I know exactly what you mean by needing to be surprised or by surrounded by music.
Yeah, I study more music during the lockdown.
Yeah.
More guitar like daily. Like it was like obligation. Like at least 10 minutes or half an hour a day.
Yeah.
Playing or reading about it.
Yeah,
Because like I learned how to be I learned how to be by myself in Ireland.
Yeah.
Like because here you stay by our own for long. Like even
Too
if
long.
we have a lot of friends around, but every time we are by ourselves.
Yeah.
Like alone. So my instruments are always with me because I always to not feel like that I'm the only person in the world. My instruments like
Yeah.
make me feel more like
Well,
companion.
yeah, companionship.
Companionship.
Yeah. Like the amount of times you're probably the same. You'd be strumming something, and then you go, "Ooh, that's okay," and then you take out your smartphone and you might record 20 seconds of a song, and like this phone is full of about 20 seconds of songs. Will I ever use them? I've no idea, but it's just like 55 ideas. Like, and I have like the file is saved as D, G, like the chords written down because I don't have what they call like concert tuning. I don't have perfect pitch. Like if I want to tune a guitar, I need the app on my phone to go E, A, D, G, B, E.
Oh yeah,
I try and tune by ear, but maybe because I'm a drummer and I'm just so used to sitting down and going, okay, doof, doof, doof.
That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never played drum. I never played drummer. I actually want to buy a one to learn.
Yeah.
Like the electrical one.
Yeah.
So maybe if by the end of the year. No.
Well, the funny thing is, well, make sure it's
Is
electrical.
it hard to learn?
Is it hard to learn drums?
I think it's more about practicing. Huh?
It's practice helps, yeah. But I think you know from the beginning with an instrument whether you're going to be a natural at it or not. And I knew from the age of 3 years old that I wanted to be a drummer, but I didn't get my drum kit until I was 15, and I got it at Christmas Day, and we put it outside in the garage where we had like a pool table, and my sister would bring her friends down. They'd play pool. Then me and my friends got guitars. And then we started practicing out there, and then she started getting angry that me and my friends were coming out there. And from from Christmas Day when I was 15, just everything changed. Absolutely everything changed.
Why?
Because why? Because I would hate to think what would have happened if I didn't have music in my life when I was 15 or 16. I was always a quiet kid. I never got into trouble. I was never like expelled or suspended from school or anything like that. I was actually very quiet. And I think finding music at that age was the right time. Because on Friday and Saturday nights, me and my friends would be in the garage and we'd be learning songs by Nirvana and Metallica and Korn and people like that. I think my parents were happy, and my friends' parents were happy knowing that as well, that we weren't running around the streets going crazy.
Yeah, but how was the time like? How was the city or Dublin at that time?
Well,
like when you're on that age.
Okay.
Yeah, 15. Because nowadays, I see a lot of people complaining about the teenagers doing this shit.
Yeah.
This shit
Oh,
around.
yeah. I completely. Yeah, I can understand that. No, Dublin was. Well, you see. So I'm from Rush, which is, as I was telling you, it's a town just before Skerries. It's the north side of Dublin. And just like Skerries, we've got beaches, we've got fields. Very, very, very quiet place. Even like we used to have a Garda station, now we don't. It's just there's no Garda station. Wow. It's just so quiet. But Dublin city centre back then was like it was like traveling to Mars or Jupiter. It was like going all the way into the city centre. Wow. Traveling on a train for 30 minutes. Wow. Traveling by bus for 45. Different world, man. No way. So
I used to travel 2 hours just to go to work every day. Like 4 hours in the traffic.
Which is why I find it funny sometimes some of my Brazilian friends say, Rush, that's so far away. You travel for 4 hours going to work in Brazil. And you think me living 30 minutes away is far away.
No, not at all.
As we say in Ireland, get the boat. Like, don't be talking rubbish. But yeah, at that age, Dublin seemed like a faraway dream. We used to just go into Dublin maybe once a month when we started working part-time. Because we're from an agricultural place, we would get like 60 old Irish pounds. This is before the euro. And we were such kids. There used to be a donut shop on Grafton Street called Dunkin' Donuts. And we'd go in and we'd buy some donuts. And then we'd go into, there's a heavy metal store called Sound Cellar. It's still there at the bottom of Nassau Street, really, really small. We'd go in there and we loved looking at all the heavy rock CDs. And we hoped that we'd get to talk to some of the guys with the long hair. It's like, oh, he talked to me. Oh. So that's what we used to do. We used to go into Dublin just to get out of our small town. We'd go and buy donuts. We'd go to Sound Cellar to talk to the heavy metal guys. And for anyone from Brazil who lives in Dublin, you might not be aware, but close to where the Disney store is now on Grafton Street was a big music store called HMV. It was a big music store, and we used to go in there all the time and just spend so much money of our wages. So, long story short, as a kid, I didn't spend enough time in the city centre to know what it was like. I just know now with the internet and, you know, word travels faster. Like if an incident happened in anywhere in Ireland or the world, in Brazil, Australia, whatever country, it would be maybe in the newspaper a few days later. But now what happens is you turn on, you look at your Instagram stories and, oh, did you see what happened last night? And I'm like, man, it's 7:30 in the morning. I'm not even awake. Like, I have a friend who does that. Like, he'll wake up in the morning at like 6 o'clock and he's just straight away, Twitter, Instagram. What's happening? And I'm like, man, chill. The world can wait. Dublin is turning into a bigger city, and bigger cities start having problems. Like what city doesn't? It's just the reaction should be a little bit quicker.
But I think it's a good thing to the country. Like as a whole, you know, like Dublin getting bigger and other cities like
I don't really
big.
I don't know, man, because I don't really see much of a benefit because there was always this kind of thing in Ireland where it was Dublin versus the rest of Ireland.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Or the rest of Ireland versus Dublin.
Yeah.
So like in Gaelic football, if Dublin are playing at Croke Park, the rest of Ireland are cheering for the county that are playing Dublin, you know? And even apart from that, there's 180,000 empty houses, all not even like around Ireland. But yet, your Brazilian friends, my Brazilian friends, your Irish friends, my Irish friends are going on to Dundeel or Daft or trying to go on to community Facebook groups, trying to find somewhere to sleep. And you can't. Like, I'm 40 years old. I'm back living at home in my family home. I'm just lucky that it's a big house. And I basically have, it's like my own apartment upstairs. I have, you know, everything I need. But a lot of people aren't that lucky. So I don't really know if there's a benefit yet. I mean,
but don't you think that the city didn't follow the amount of people that were coming?
Correct.
Like they should. I think they should. Because I know
Correct.
people that has been living here
Supply
for
and
20
demand.
years.
Yeah.
Have been here for 10 years. They say like, sometimes they say like the only change that happened in this country is the amount of people that came.
Yeah,
Like because the transportation is still
that's
the
right.
same. Like,
That's a good point.
people have lives like in this part.
Yeah.
They always have to go to the city center to go to that part.
Yep,
And there is no bus.
that's
like,
right.
You know.
Yeah, you're actually you've hit on a good point. That's a very good point. The only thing that has changed is the amount of people coming here. Like the Lewis only started in 2004, like 18 years ago. So I can only imagine for you guys, if you were living here, not being able to survive without the Lewis. I don't have to worry about that because in Rush, the Lewis doesn't come anywhere near us.
Yeah.
But you are right.
Because Ireland is very different from other countries. For example, if you, I went to Luxembourg.
Yeah.
And then I took 3 hours train to Belgium.
Yeah. That's continental Europe.
Yeah, but
I know, but
we
we should still have something similar here. I know.
you know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and I don't even think the fact that we're an island makes a difference because we should have infrastructure. You are right.
Yeah.
And I have been you. I have done that thing where you wake up in the morning and you're on a train in France, and in the evening you're in Spain. I've been that.
We have the ferry here at least.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. But I just think it is a good point that we don't even have a train station or a Lewis station going to the airport. It's embarrassing. We're a European capital city, and someone arrives into Ireland. Okay, so where's the train platform?
There's no train platform.
Yeah, you can get that Dublin bus. You can get that taxi. You can get. It reminds me of like going to a music festival and like you're waiting on buses or taxis to take you into the city or something. It's a little bit embarrassing, but yeah.
And taxi here is not cheap. Like it's cheaper flying.
Yeah. Thank God
Take
for
a flight ticket then
the
to get
Ubers.
there.
Or no, it's not Uber. What's the new one that's in Ireland now?
Boat?
Yeah, I
Boat
think.
something,
Yeah, something. But more of that. It's the same with like Weatherspoons in the city centre because I know one or two of my Brazilian friends, they love it because it's so cheap. And a lot of Irish people love it because it's so cheap. But because, you know, alcohol has been such a thing in Ireland, it's just been so much part of our
That's
society.
another thing is so strange for me. Like
Yeah.
a country that like
People don't like Weatherspoons because, it's ruining pub culture, you know?
No, but I think about like beer is not allowed to drink in the street. This country, I think it's everyone drinks beer here,
I know.
but it doesn't make sense. Like you're not allowed to drink.
It's
outside.
uh,
On the other hand,
Yeah.
it does make sense because
Yeah.
of the freedom we have here
Sure.
to do whatever you want.
oh yeah.
You know.
Oh well, I'll get on to that point in a moment, but I'll give you a little funny story about drinking beer, and it was in Brazil. So when I went to Sao Paulo, I was in my friend's house, and we were going to, I think we were going to Via Madalena or something. We were getting,
nice. Villa
Yeah, it was
Madalena.
nice. It was like a Friday night. Let's go somewhere, and the Uber was outside, and I was drinking my can of beer in my friend's house, and I was drinking it really, 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 really fast. And my friend is like, "What the hell are you doing?"
don't need it.
He's like, "The Uber's outside." I'm like, "Yeah, bring it with you." What?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. This is what a country. This is great. I was walking down the Avenue de Paulista. Hey, woo, Bohemia. Hey, look at me. I'm drinking a beer. Look at me. I thought I was king dog shit.
It's a bit strange for people that never had.
Yeah, but getting back to that point you made about our licensing laws, I was reading or I was into a podcast a while ago that Ireland's licensing alcohol laws date back to the 19th century. So like 1870 something. Back when the British were ruling Ireland. It's not even Irish legislation. So it's the same in England actually. But I think the problem they have in England is, so we've the problem that alcohol is too expensive. England had the problem for many years that alcohol was too cheap. So people were just getting the amount of Irish people that used to just fly to Newcastle in the north of England and just bring €100 or whatever, and just like it was more than enough for a hostel and like a few beers for the weekend. So long story
Talking
short,
about beer.
yeah. Oh, we have brought supplies.
Yeah.
So I've supplied. There was a Kinnegar earlier, and this is called a Bohemian.
Yeah, where's the can?
Oh yeah,
Bob.
product placement.
The can of beer that he brought. Yeah, let's show to the guys. Yeah, present
So
us.
this is in Ireland. We've got lots of IPA companies. So IPA,
IPA.
yeah, IPA, And I know when I was in Belo Horizonte and places like that, there was lots more IPA, even in the 2 years between the first time I went to Brazil and the second time. So this is a really nice Irish company called Kinnegar. I'm not sponsored by them, but if anyone from Kinnegar is watching, you can definitely. This is Bohemian, not Bohemia like you have in Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or not the football club that are in Phibsborough, Bohemians. Yeah, get it into you, Bob. Good lad.
Yeah.
Me and Tailies are just going to drink it all. Good lad. Sláinte.
Sláinte.
Saúde. Hey. Hello, Mom. So, yeah, speaking of alcohol. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of alcohol, yeah. Yeah, it's been a problem, all right. But even now, teenagers in Ireland have actually changed a lot. A lot of them don't drink. A lot of kids in Ireland don't drink because they're the Instagram generation, where
they're smoking weed.
Yeah, they're smoking. Actually, the amount of I've never smelled so much weed in my life that I have in the during lockdown. Everyone's just baked. Like years ago, like you'd be like sitting in the corner going. I was getting the train to here, and there was a kid, and I'd say he's about 18, and he's just.
Yeah.
Not a fuck given. He didn't care, you know? Like, it's illegal in Ireland, you know?
I don't think it's one step to be legal.
Yeah, I think so. There's talk of medicinal, being made legal and stuff like that.
But that's a good point, like the teenagers not drinking that much.
They don't.
Because I think drink is the worst drug.
It is.
Alcohol.
Yeah, I think so. Says me drinking alcohol.
But we are using socially.
Yeah. We're adults. We can do it. Yeah.
We can do it.
Be advised. Adults, children pretending to be adults.
Do you remember your first time drinking?
Yes, I do.
How was it?
Yes, I do. Jesus Christ. My first time drinking.
Bring your microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, be comfortable. Just bring your microphone.
My first time drinking. You know what? I miss being a kid and drinking.
Really?
Being an adult and drinking is so boring. It's because the danger isn't there. Like, I remember being a kid when I was 15, and like my parents didn't drink. They weren't drinkers at all. But they always used to have brandy and whiskey and vodka and cans of Guinness and stuff like that.
For a special occasion.
If my aunties or uncles came over, oh, hey, would you like this? Would you like that? But my parents, I'd never seen my parents drunk or nothing. And, of course, I decided, my parents, they never check any of the alcohol. So I got like a Lucasade bottle, and I poured in like some brandy. I put in some gin. I put in some vodka, and I said, "Yeah, this is gonna be really this is a great idea, because no one will ever think that this isn't fucking disgusting." I tied up my little Lucasade bottle, went down to the golf club near my house because that was a good place to drink. Yeah, let's go to the golf club, and there's all these old guys. It was the middle of the summer. All these old guys, and I don't know. You ever seen the movies Jackass?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And they're trying to tee off. And then they have a foghorn. So we were like that, except we didn't have a foghorn. So we're drunk going, you fat old bastards. I'll tell your parents. Fuck you. But it was just, I remember it was a really sunny day. And there's me and my friend, beep. He'd be protected for all this. No. But it was just so cool because the golfers would come running after us and we'd go running back towards the beach, and we're laughing and we're half drunk, and it's like, this is so cool. Now it's like you go into Dublin city centre and you stand there, it's just like bring back the beaches, bring back teenage years, bring back the shitty Lucasade bottles. Bring back the brandy. Bring back the whiskey. It was so much more fun. Yeah. It was so unexpected.
But to go to the beach here, you need the summer.
Yeah.
We happened with just 1 month for a couple of days.
I remember that one day.
But last summer was amazing.
Yeah, last summer was nice.
I went to the beach, I think it was 3 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
I bought a board.
Yeah.
Stand-up
paddle. Oh, yeah. Stand-up board, yeah.
Lovely.
Did you go to
Portmarnock.
Portmarnock.
And Killiney.
Oh yeah,
Killiney.
Portmarnock and Killiney. Yeah,
The water was hot.
it was. And last year was nice
believe
because
it.
people were starting to feel a little bit of freedom because that's when we started getting our first vaccines. It's like, oh cool, look at me, I'm bulletproof. Let's go to the beach. But beach is an interesting thing because, of course, being from Brazil, like, you know, beaches are a completely different prospect.
Depends on the city.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Like, for example, I'm from Rio.
Yeah.
And depends on where we live in Rio. Like, going to the beach is kind of a part of your day.
Yeah.
I used to, when I lived in the beach for 4 months. Yeah. For 4 months, where I learned how to surf and stuff.
There you go.
So I used to go every day before to work to, like, at least to surf or to dive. You know,
I
like
want to
6
live
in
in
the morning,
Parachi.
7 in the morning. Oh, Parachi's.
If I can't get a house in Parachi, I'll go to Trinidad.
Have you gone to Ilha Grande, big island?
I seen the island, but I didn't go to it. I stayed in Parachi. A good friend of mine owned a hostel there.
Wow,
and
Parachi's lovely.
Parachi's amazing. It was just so different, like to anything I'd seen in Brazil up until that point. It was so quiet. Because that was one of the first things that I realized when I went to Brazil.
Where did you go? Because to be quiet like that.
Oh God! Well, Parachi was the quietest. Everywhere else I was in was like Sao Paulo or like Rio de Janeiro or like big cities. But that was that. Brazil really made me change my perspective on a couple of things. Like, Brazil changed my perspective. So it made me realize that I'd be staying in some friends' houses. And they wouldn't have a lot of wealth. They wouldn't have a lot of... But they had a lot of love. They had a lot of, like, food to give. Like, they give you everything. And they're all so happy. And, like, the mother and the father, they're still in love. And they're dancing in the living room. And I'd be just sitting there watching these people saying, that's life. That's how it should be. Because in Ireland... I think maybe it's because we were ruled by the British for so many years. We never had, everything that we had was taken off us. Our religion, our language, our education. Irish people weren't allowed to read history books up until like the 19th century. We weren't allowed to know about what happened. Like we were forbidden. Yeah, well, we were slaves in our own country, you know? So when we became our own independent country, I think we started to say, wow, wait, no, this house is mine? This is my house? Cool, I will take that. And we hang on to property for dear, we crush it to death. So in Ireland, it really became a thing of what property you have defines you. If your house is this size, you're that size of a person. You're that amazing person. But we had a really good economy about 20 years ago called the Celtic Tiger. And that was the beginnings of when Brazilian people started to come to Ireland. And you would have people who would own lots of cars, lots of Jeeps, have a holiday home in Bulgaria, because why not? But then they'd be like divorced from their wife or their husband a few years later, and they'd want to kill each other. So you have this big beautiful house and you hear people just shouting and screaming at each other, and it's like, is it really worth it? Like, because there is sometimes, that's why I'm so relaxed about things, because I see some of my fellow Irish people getting wound up in, what do you mean you're only making 60,000 euro a year? What do you mean you only have 2 cars? It was getting very materialistic.
Yeah, but we have this kind of people in my country. But
sure you do.
As we have more people, we have more like
you're
humble,
you're the 5th biggest country in the world. We're like a little rock on the side of the Atlantic Ocean.
It's funny because you're not the first Irish friend that tells me like that. Another friend, Killian, when he went to Recife.
Yeah.
He say like, I saw a lot of poor people, but they are enjoying themselves, like
exactly
being happy, And I saw like I told him I told him to try to explain him the difference of like the poorest people in Brazil, they don't. I mean, the poorest people in Ireland.
Yeah.
Let's say like explain. They have a house at least.
Yeah.
They have a house. They have a microwave. They have
Yeah.
the poorest people.
Yeah, they have options.
But the poorest people in Brazil, they don't have a house. So we have to learn how to be happy anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly. That's exactly what Brazil taught me. It taught me to be humble.
Yeah.
Um,
And we like this. We like to live with the simple things, like to be in the bar with just the short, no shirts.
I know. Yeah.
And with a small cup of beer, and then having fun.
That was
with
one of the
friends.
first things that I realized when I started getting followers onto my page. I'd see all these guys following me, and they're just not wearing any clothes, and I'm just like, man, will you put on a hat? Put on a jacket, will you? Put on a hoodie. Are you not cold? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but like for example in Rio, it's like 35 degrees at 7 in the morning.
Yeah. I know, yeah. The first day I got to Rio, I was wearing a fucking hoodie. It was 35 degrees. I got into the airport, and me and we did the tourist thing, of course. You have to do the bullshit tourist thing for a couple of days.
Yeah.
My friend brought me to Ipanema, and the pictures you see of me, I'm wearing like a hoodie like yours, or like it's like a navy, and I'm just like, hello, I'm Irish. I'm in Ipanema in Brazil wearing a big hoodie. What degree is it? It's 35 degrees,
35.
Ross. I don't give a shit. I'm wearing my hoodie. I'm Irish. Because it just didn't come into my brain to just wear a t-shirt. Just relax, man. You know, it's just... yeah, Brazil changed me in so many ways. It really did.
Good.
It really did. It's the last few years for me have just been so quick. So it's just been like Brazil definitely changed my life in the last few years.
Ireland, as the same time, Ireland changed minds.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, because like I've been, me and Bob, for example, we came from a warm country. You know.
Oh, I know.
So everything we do outside.
Yeah.
Like we like to do outside, like to be outside, even during the night.
I know.
Like,
I missed that.
but then we came
really
here and then
that.
have to be inside.
Yep.
Like
everything stops.
Yeah. And we start being more by alone, you know, by ourselves, and then we start thinking more about us. And I remember my first night here.
Yeah.
And I woke up in the other morning, and I felt like, what did I do with my life? Like, why did I came? And then I felt like, oh, I did a lot of effort to come. So I will see what happened. What's going on? And then after 4 years, I'm here. You know?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'll be here for one intercambio. 4 años. Woo!
Yeah. But yeah, and we see like we have for example, it's a shock because we heard in our country, like every country in Europe is like first world. You see, it's well developed and people are happy and then we came here and we see like, man, we have everything. Why you are depressive? Why you are like
That's the human condition. If you give everybody in the world €1 billion, they'll still have something to complain about. That's humans.
Yeah.
We always need something to complain about.
Yeah, a friend of mine told me like it's right as as a human being to complain. Is a human right?
Exactly. That's exactly where I'll be going with that as well. Yeah. Like I have noticed that. I've never you can balance the things you have in your life and be happy about it. But it doesn't mean that that person is totally happy. You're just doing your best with what you have right now. I mean, you're thinking in your head, Bob's thinking in his head, I'm thinking in my head of things in our life and how we can best work with these situations. We're still happy, but we're still thinking about what's in our head, you know, like, oh, did I make that person sad? Or maybe I could do this in my job, and we'll think about that for the next day. So it's the human condition where we need to take, 1 millimeter away from where we are. We need €1 billion. No, I need €2 billion,
Yeah. We always want more.
Yeah. One step above. Absolutely.
Yeah. But one thing I learned when I lived in the United States. I lived in the United States in 2011. I did an exchange
Oh,
there.
cool. What part of the States?
South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
My college had
That's different.
Yeah, my college had integration, something like that, with the college in there. And then I just did a test. I passed, and then just stayed there for 6 months.
South Carolina?
Yeah. But my perception is like, even a country that is easy to get material stuff, even though it's kind of hard to be happy, you know?
Mm-hmm. Or else.
I don't know, because sometimes, like, when you have everything you want in your hand, you start asking to yourself, like, is that all?
Exactly. Yeah. And I've done that
You know,
before. And I've been in the States, I've been in the USA, and I know exactly what you mean. I was in Texas a few times. So similar part of the state, similar to South Carolina, where it could be considered what would they say in politics, a red state, like a Republican state, maybe. So, the USA is kind of crazy that way, where you have the blue states and the red states, and like the Democrats kind of live a certain way and the Republicans live a certain way. So in Texas, I got that exact feeling that you were talking about, where you could go anywhere and get anything. But that whole thing about have a nice day, like, it's a lot of the time it's not genuine. I remember years ago, my friend, he brought his daughter to Disneyland in Florida, and she was only like 7 years old at the time. And they're going around Disneyland, and they're going to, like, you know, Space Mountain, and they're going to go to the Star Wars, and they're going to, like, Indiana Jones, and they were they were talking to these people all day, and they were like really nice, and like, oh, have a nice day, and she's like, okay, have a nice day, and then it got to the end of the day, and the guide says to my friend's daughter, have a nice day, and she says, go fuck yourself. She's like, I am sick of being told what kind of a day I should be having. Go fuck yourself.
Oh my God.
There's an Irish comedian who was talking about that whole USA thing of have a nice day. And he's like, I'm Irish. I'll have whatever kind of a day I want to have. Why limit myself to niceness? Because I actually heard some Brazilian people say that to me sometimes, where they'd say to, hey, Ross, how are you? And I'd say, I'm okay. And they're almost like, what do you mean you're just okay? You should be great. I'm like, I'm okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't want to just, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm great. I'm great. Fuck me, man. Let me get a coffee into me. You know, that Irish people, we're dramatic that way. It's just like, we honestly tell you how we are. Like,
not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
This is so strange.
Not bad. Exactly. Not bad, like, just means
not bad. Like, okay,
yeah, I'm not bad. Like, I'm surviving. Everything's okay. It's cool. Like, you don't literally take the two words "not bad" and think it's a bad thing. It's just like, I'm okay. I'm not bad. I'll keep him well. Yeah, good.
No. Oh, no. The other thing strange is when you say I'm not too bad.
I'm not too bad.
I'll say in my head it means like, oh, you are bad, but not bad too bad. You know, you're still bad. You know, you're not good.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm just not too bad.
It's just
really? Yeah. Like, okay. Man,
well,
why I'm not too bad? Because I'm bad, but I'm not that too bad.
Yeah, no, for all of my Brazilian friends watching, when we say I'm not bad, I'm not too bad, we don't literally mean, oh, not bad. It's a phrase just meaning, I'm all right, I'm okay. Like, surviving, that's another one we say, surviving, struggling on. Like, but we don't mean that we're literally struggling or trying to, we're just like, it's like walking down the street, yep, surviving. Getting on, yeah, not too bad. Suave.
I'm great. Yeah. I'm great.
Yeah. Why the hell would you, like, I would rather have someone tell me honestly how they are than I'm great. Piss off. I'm great.
Grand.
Yeah, I'm grand.
I'm grand.
Exactly. I'm grand.
Learn these.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything's grand.
Yeah, I'm grand for the name. Was another thing that I was talking Portuguese. Sorry.
It's okay.
Let's take a break.
Portuguese is your language, so don't apologize for speaking Portuguese.
Yeah, Russ, let's take a break for a toilet, and then we come back with the answers, questions, and comments.
Here we go.
I think I forgot to mention, guys, if you have any questions or comments for us, just write it down on the comments here on YouTube, and we're gonna come back in 1 minute. We're
accepting offers of money and free houses. all that stuff we talked about €1 billion. You can if you want. That's no problem.
Yeah. So we guys are gonna take 1 minute to break and gonna come back in 1 minute. So 1, 2. To send me more guests.
Oh, no problem. I can. Absolutely.
We alive again?
Oh my God.
We are back.
Hi, how are you? Hello.
How are you guys?
Hi.
There is a Irish journalist. Killian told me when he finished his program, he says, good night and good. How can I say?
Oh, good night and God bless.
Yeah. Good night and God bless you.
Yeah, good night.
Look at me.
And God bless.
Look at me here. Good night and God bless you. Maybe I will do a new word like for that.
Yeah, it was like good night. Yeah, what they used to do was back in the 1960s in Ireland, before there was discos and nightclubs, there was what we were called show bands. So you'd have like 800 different bands all over Ireland, and they'd dress up in really nice suits, and they'd play pop songs, and the singer of the band at the last, they'd play like the Irish national anthem. Everyone sings the anthem, and then after the anthem is over, okay, everybody, good night, safe home, and God bless.
God bless.
So that's where that comes from. Yeah, and I would have went to the TV
Nice,
too. Yeah,
nice.
the 60s.
I will invent one for me.
Do.
I'll come up with one.
Good night. God bless. Beijinho. Beijinho.
And you didn't say muito boa noite.
No, today was very nice evening.
Yeah, very nice. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Fiona. Fiona taught me that.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, because I
Fiona,
started in
your Irish
Portuguese.
friend,
No,
yeah.
no, his girlfriend.
Oh, your
Yeah,
girlfriend
his
is Irish.
Yeah. His girlfriend, yeah.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, I was talking with her like, oh, I need to find a new way to cheer my expectors.
Yeah.
Telespectors. People who was watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. The watchers.
Yeah.
Watchers.
The audience.
The audience.
Yeah,
The
there
audience.
you go. So yeah. Even I wasn't with you for a second. Like, shit, what's he talking about?
Yeah, the audience.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah. And then I started with muito boa noite, like in Portuguese.
Yeah.
And then in English, maybe I start with very nice evening.
Oi!
Oi!
Muito boa noite.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, God.
Let's read the message.
We got some fan mail.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's
my
see.
God.
Fiona. Oh, talking about her. Fiona. Hello.
Hi there.
Erika Barroso Milner. Good evening.
Boa tarde, boa
Good
noite.
evening. Ricardo Holanda. Wow, I like this guy. Congrats, Talkeando Podcast for this.
He likes
Oh,
you.
Ricardinho. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, he likes you. Not talk about, yeah, he likes you. Yeah. Thanks, Ricardo. Come on. Thank you for tuning. Muito obrigado for listening. Yes.
Fiona, have you ever tried beer from the Franciscan well in Cork? If not, I would highly recommend.
I have not, Fiona. My experience with Cork alcohol is I always make sure that I have a pint of Murphy's. Murphy's is like the Cork Guinness because Cork people get very, very jealous about Dublin. Like they even have their own T-shirts called like the real capital, the People's Republic
yeah.
of Cork and stuff like that.
I heard some
So
Cork
cute.
is the royal capital.
Oh yeah, the real capital.
The real,
yeah.
real.
Yeah, muito fofinho. Yeah. But they're not. So
I'm gonna bring a
yeah.
person from Dublin, another person from Cork here one day.
Oh
Maybe.
God! If it's someone from Cork, you
I
need
wanna
to have
see
the
blood.
microphone over there because people from Cork they sing like this and then they go up like that, like Because
I'm not gonna get into this fight.
Oh no, it's all love. In Ireland, it's all love. It's good. But no, I would love to do the Franciscan thing. Cork is actually, in fairness, is the food capital of Ireland. It's the biggest county in Ireland and has amazing dairy. And also because it has places like Kinsale, Skibbereen, Cove, these amazing little fishing villages. So they've got really good seafood and really, really fertile land. So Cork is definitely a place to check out. And funnily enough, they have a place called the English Market in Cork City Centre, which is a strange name. But you go in there any morning, especially at the weekends. It's better for stock. And you can any food you can think of is there. So it's really, really good. Check out Cork, everybody. See?
Yeah, we've been in Cork last year. We did the Atlantic Way.
Oh.
So we started in Cork and finished in Letterkenny.
And Letterkenny.
Letterkenny.
You've seen everything. Wow. So you went Cork, Kerry, Limerick, Clare, Galway, Mayo, Sligo,
Everything.
Donegal. Man, I'm jealous.
Yeah. We are heading to Derry, but we just stopped in Letterkenny.
Yeah.
I went.
You made it far enough. Well, yeah, Letterkenny. Yeah, at least you went to the top of Donegal because Donegal town is in the south and then then Letterkenny's in the north. So at least you got to go to Kilcar and around by Slieve League, which is the highest sea cliffs in Europe. Because people used to say to me all the time, "Oh, I want to go to the cliffs of Moher." I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Go to Slieve League.
Slieve League.
There you go. Slieve League is unbelievable. You've seen it. It's unbelievable. So there you go.
No, in this trip we found a lot of beautiful places
Yeah.
in this island.
Yep.
Ireland.
Ireland is island. Yeah,
Lovely.
yeah.
And
Ireland is
we,
beautiful.
we were lucky because our first 3 days was sunny, and all the beach was all of families.
Yeah.
Like
Uh-huh.
I thought it was in Panama. Like
Yeah,
was
yeah.
all of the beach was crowded.
And the
What
sand is a
crowd?
different color as well on the west coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
it's
west
the
of
mix-
Ireland is
yeah,
so
it's
different.
the mix of the green grass
Yeah.
with the yellow sand.
Yeah, yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
And the blue water.
Yeah. The west of Ireland is
Yeah,
completely different.
yeah.
Completely different.
It's another country. Yeah.
It's completely It's
Yeah.
it's
It's a new Ireland.
yeah. It is.
from
It's the Ireland that people stereotypically think about when they see the tourist kind of things. Like the green rolling fields and stuff.
Oh,
like
but
that.
to be fair with the people of outside Dublin, we found that the people from the country is more like friendly or more
of course.
sympathetic.
Yeah, of course. But like even me, like I mean, my part of Dublin is completely different to this part of Dublin or the city centre. When I'm in the city centre, I don't really say hello to anybody. But if I'm in my area of Dublin, it's more agricultural because people always just think of Dublin as the city centre and there's no beaches or fields. But like where I'm from, there is that, and it's a small town. It's like 10,000 people. Hello, hey, how are you? Hello. So there is parts of Dublin where that happens, just not so much in a lot of the suburbs maybe and stuff. But there's still friendly people everywhere. But
Yeah,
it's just. But I would agree with you that like outside of Dublin it's different. Yeah.
I remember when I was working in Kilcock.
Oh yeah, Kilcock, Kildare.
I had to walk 30 minutes from the bus stop to the office, and sometimes some people just stop by to give me a ride.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even ask. I didn't stop asking for a ride.
Yeah.
They just stopped by in front of me. And
Yeah.
Oh, you want a ride? Like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, exactly. And they're the kind of nice stories that need to be heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I met a old man. He loves hurling.
Hurling, yeah.
Hurling, yeah. Oh, he said, you should go to some hurling match. I'm gonna buy you some stuff. I'm gonna take you some stuff. But then
The
was
season
fired.
is starting now. The hurling and the Gaelic football. Dublin are playing Mayo in Croke Park this weekend in Dublin. So, yeah, some of my Brazilian friends, they want to go and see like even Irish soccer, like the Irish teams like Shamrock Rovers, Bohemians,
Shamrock.
St. Patrick's Athletic. And I wanted to actually, because we had 2 years of none of this. And we were just kind of thinking, let's go on a Friday night. It doesn't matter what team it is. Let's just go. Let's go to Phibsborough. Let's go and see Bohemians. Let's get the Lewis to Tala and see Shamrock Rovers. We go for a beer before. We go for a beer after. Amazing. I think we really need to start appreciating those kind of days again. Definitely.
Yeah, another thought that came from the lockdown.
Yeah.
I have to
Exactly.
enjoy more
It's
my neighbors. my
Yeah,
neighborhood.
it's like what I was talking about at the very beginning, appreciating the little things.
That's cool. Let me just.
Oh, another question.
There's a beach.
Oh my God.
Good. But keep sending messages, guys.
Come on, send us messages.
Yeah.
Nice messages.
Fiona, you have a strong connection with Brazil and the Brazilian community. Have you any plans to learn Portuguese?
It's me and the Portuguese language is a strange one. It's so weird because it's like I can't multitask. I either need to give information on my page and then I don't have time to learn the language. So then if I start learning the language, then I won't do information. But to be quite honest, the reason why my page changed a lot in the last year or so, it was actually more of a conscious decision to not really do a lot more Portuguese on my page because I actually do kind of speak a little bit, but I don't have the confidence. And to be honest, there was other Irish people doing it much better than me.
Yeah.
There was Lydia, there was Cian, there was Kevin, another couple of guys. There was Patter, there was Sean, and I just kind of thought, to be quite honest, okay, maybe our pages are different, and maybe there's different audiences and whatever, and yada yada. But these guys are just doing the Portuguese thing better than me, and I did get like there was a small percentage in the Brazilian community, like they kind of say about me, oh, but he's just pretending to help the community and he doesn't even speak Portuguese. It's like, well, number one,
fuck off.
It's not your fucking business what language I speak, and number two, I've helped your community more than you ever fucking have. So kiss my hairy Irish arse.
That's what's Nice.
Beijinho.
Porra, esse cara é foda. Felipe Nogueira.
Hi. Oh, there he is, Felipe.
Felipe Nogueira, hi. Boulder Podcast, cheguei. I'm here. Nice. Thanks, man.
That's one of my best friends. He's my bro. He's amazing.
Yeah. Alexandre Amarante, o contador brasileiro. I'm in love with this episode. I follow Ross since he started, and I always learn so much when he speaks. Thank you for that, guys.
Oh. Wow.
Fofinho.
Que fofinho. Meu coração.
Thanks, man.
Meu coração.
Ale.
Yeah. Thank you so much, seriously. Especially if you've been following me since the start. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Fiona, I think we need a second episode with Ross. He has so many stories.
I
already invited.
Don't encourage me. Don't encourage me.
I already invited him to come back. No worries. We're going to have a second part of Ross.
The worst part that you did was invite me to your house. Now I don't need Google Maps anymore. I know.
That's a good point. Well, finally,
yeah. Now I know where your house is. Yeah. I'm not going to give his address away. It's okay. You can message me later, okay? It is beep.
Felipe Nogueira, Ross should start his own podcast.
That's
a good idea.
Yeah, it's something I've been thinking about. I just need to...
The equipment?
Well, I have like a microphone at home, but I think maybe to get a better sound, I need like a Focusrite, like an interface and stuff like that, and stuff like that.
I can help you with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd appreciate it. I would love to do it. The thing about if I was doing a podcast, it would be probably a little bit different. I think there'd be Brazilian people, but there'd be Irish people as well. Yeah. So I'd be talking about sport and music and stuff like that as well. But yeah, I have thought about it. It's definitely been an aspiration.
This podcast.
Oh yeah.
This podcast is to talk with everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
So like,
yeah.
You are the. I'm not gonna count with Killian because we spoke in Portuguese, but we are the first Irish people, Irish guy.
Yeah.
Of 1,000.
Yeah, well, listen, it's my absolute pleasure to be here. Yeah, and it's fair play to Killian if he's doing it in Portuguese. Fair play to him.
Ross,
yes,
that's a good point for you to learn Portuguese. For you talking Portuguese.
Yeah. Well, remember, if you want to see me speak Portuguese, guys, and you're watching this interview, buy me a beer in Dublin this weekend, and you will hear me speak a whole load of Portuguese.
We can speak any other shit. We can speak
language.
Any kind of language after some beers.
Muito mal. Muito mal.
Marilia Valim. Ross is fantastic.
Oh, you. I'll give you that €20 later, yeah. Thank you.
Fiona, Up Cork. Arte de tag. My friend Ross. Why are the bathroom lights outside? Have you ever made fun of someone turning off the light? Oh, because in the bathrooms, the outlet of the switch of the light is outside. Well, in Brazil, we have inside.
Yes, and another thing. I think I'm going to get electrocuted when I'm in Brazil in the showers. Because I'm there, like, I get my shampoo, and I look up. What the
Oh, yeah, the wires.
The wires are exposed. So, listen, I will have my light switch inside, outside. I don't give a shit. But if there's wires hanging out of where the fucking water is coming out of, that's a problem.
Yeah. And we stay sometimes 1 hour under the shower.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could stay an hour in the shower as well. Because, especially in winter, because if the house is big, it's hard to kind of, like, okay, you can be warm. But when you, just at the back of your neck, and there's a like really hot, and you don't move. Then it goes down your back. It's like, yeah, I'm the shame. I'd be in the shower for an hour as well, yeah.
That's
man. Sorry, I get really excited about showers.
No, but thank you. I appreciate you being excited here, man. And last question.
Yeah.
Emerson Gaudêncio. What was the biggest cultural difference between Brazil and Ireland in your view, Ross?
Oh, wow. Where do we begin? Tudo.
Yeah, similar. So let's play again. You say 2 or 3 similar differences.
Okay.
And 3 similarities.
Okay. Motels!
That's terrible.
And in Ireland, we have no motels.
What do you do to have sex? You have to.
Do you need me
have
to
a
teach
single
you
room.
about sex?
No.
As in, like, how...
Like
I know.
you have to have.
You
a house
have
anyway.
to be either willing to pay a ridiculous amount of money for a hotel for about 4 hours or 5 hours, or
But it is.
you need to hope that your lady friend or your boyfriend or whoever it is has their own place.
Yeah.
Or they have a couch.
Or they have a car.
Or that you have your own place. Yeah, exactly.
But it's a government decision.
I've
you don't have-
no idea. And we've me and a couple of the lads, we were actually joking about it. Fuck it, let's open some motels.
Yeah.
Man, we're all human. It's 2022. I mean, okay, in Ireland, condoms were illegal up until the early 1990s.
Good.
Yeah, being gay was illegal. So there's still all these things that we need to just go snip from our culture. And I think motels is one of them. It's a real Irish old-fashioned thing where, like, our generation and younger are like, hey, yeah, it's cool. But the older people kind of think, it's like prostitution, or it's fucking disgusting. Like, oh yeah, they just use that room for, like, being a hooker or something like that. It's just this old-fashioned
fun.
attitude.
Sex
Yeah, it's
is
just
kind of
exactly
life.
sex is why we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, kids. Yeah. Number 2. Volume. So, what I love about Brazil is because I'm an energetic person.
Okay.
And I love music. I love laughing. I love trying different beer, different food, talking to different people. And I love the variety of Brazil. So what I mean is, when I mean volume, it's like it's the volume of different things you can do. And also the volume of music. My God. Like, or even little, like I remember, like, the first morning I woke up in Brazil 4 years ago. All I could hear outside was, he was selling gas cylinders.
Oh,
For fucking barbecues.
Gas.
And this guy at 8 o'clock in the morning is like his own
guys.
separate. Oh, guys. What you doing? I was like, fucking hell, man. What a country. The
The
first
gas
morning
truck.
I get here and the gas guy is like having his own fucking DJ set. So, yeah, motels, volume, and diversity. Diversity. I love the fact that you can be no matter what size, what color, what your hairstyle is. In Brazil, you guys don't have that divide that some countries have, where, oh, you're this color skin or you're that color skin, all that really bad stuff that happened for so many years. In Brazil, you guys never really had that.
No.
And I actually have 4 history books at home about Brazil. And one of them is by a very famous Brazilian historian called Boris Fausto. And he had a son called Sergio Fausto. And he kind of he wrote his own couple of chapters. And they were just kind of touching on that topic, that kind of racism and, it never really started really in Brazil. Okay, the Portuguese brought millions of people over and forcing people to work against their will. And okay, that's what helped to start some diversity in Brazil and brought their culture, brought their music. It's why when you're playing forró, you have a triangle. It's like why in Rio Grande do Sul, they're more influenced by like German, Italian, Swiss, maybe a bit of like some of the, because they're in the south, they're kind of surrounded by Argentina and Uruguay. So they have that kind of mixture of that, maybe those Spanish speaking country traditions. So the diversity for me was amazing. The diversity the volume, the motels. Listen, I could write a Microsoft Excel database about some of the things. So there are 3 of the things I definitely noticed.
And similarities.
Similarities. I think you guys have a very, at times, European outlook. And what I mean by that is, you know, in terms of sports, we could talk to you guys about sports. Like we share similar sports. Like I could talk to you about, you know, Neymar or like Kylian Mbappe or whatever. Like I support Liverpool. I could say to you, hey man, let's go to Fibbers and drink a beer and watch Liverpool in the Champions League. We can do that. So sports would be a similarity. Number 2, we're both very warm people, but warm in different ways. You guys are a lot more like touchy-feely warm.
Yeah.
We're warm, but we don't need to like hug everybody to show our warmth. Whereas I'm a bit different. I am very huggy.
Yeah.
I am a bit of a huggy person. So I used to kind of almost get like defensive when Brazilian people used to say, yeah, no, but you guys don't. I'm like, what do you mean? I just gave you a hug. You know, I'm like, what more do you want? But I realize, okay, yeah, not everybody in Ireland is like that, but we enjoy company. We enjoy talking.
Yeah, this is
because I've talked to some Brazilian friends who used to live in Germany and places like that, and they're just like, yeah, it's just, it's like they don't, it's like, don't talk to me, you know, don't. But of course, I have some German friends as well, and they're fine. But generally, I think we can mix really well. We're good socializers. I think that's why there's so many of you guys here. It's definitely nothing to do with our weather.
Yeah, I have this perception when I was invited, and I went to my ex-boss wedding in Donegal.
Oh yeah,
Amazing.
proper wedding,
Man.
Yes,
I think the party started at 3.
Yep, and continued till
and
6.
finish at 4 a.m.
Yeah, we know how to party.
I didn't know where the beer was coming. Like, everyone was other one was, because I was the only different people guy in the party. Like I'm saying, everyone was white and I was black, the only black because
you were the novelty.
Yeah. And everyone was like, "Well, where are you from? What are you drinking?" And saying blah blah blah. Like, oh, let's go. I'm drinking this. And then after 3 seconds, a bottle of beer came. Yeah. And then another bottle.
Yeah.
I was like,
we never like to see people go thirsty in Ireland. And one of the first things that Irish people always say to Brazilian people is, "Where are you from?" Brazil. What the fuck are you doing here? What the fuck are you doing here? You know? So yeah, that'd be one thing. And last thing, similarities.
If you don't fight, there's no problem.
I think they're the 2 main ones.
Yeah.
Definitely. Sense of warmth and sense of community as well, actually. You guys have a strong community here. If something happens to somebody in the community here, you all know about it.
Yeah.
And you guys remind me a lot of, like, I remember I used to get really kind of confused when I first started having Brazilian friends a few years ago about, like, you know, oh, look, they're not listening to this Irish thing or they're not watching Irish TV. And it's like, wait a minute. Irish people did the exact same thing for hundreds of years. We went to Australia, Canada, England, USA, and we brought our own food. We brought our own traditions. We had our own neighborhoods. Like Italy and like Irish and Italian people were the co-founders, if you will, of New York.
Yeah.
You know, they like the politicians, everything from JFK, who was Irish American, like even like the mafiosa in Italy, or you know, like Rudolph Giuliani, who is the Lord Mayor of New York and stuff like that. So basically, I could completely empathize with Brazilian people when they come here, and you guys bring your amazing food and your amazing music and your amazing take on life. Because Irish people did that for years as well. We'd always read the stories about, you know, the Irish people playing music on the boats as they're sailing across the Atlantic Ocean for 4 months and whatever. So it's a modern, more comfortable version. You know, the world is starting to change again. And you guys are part of Ireland's change, and I thank you for that.
So you're welcome. Another thing, it's more like personal curiosity.
I didn't do it.
No problem.
I didn't.
How do you think about your your people like yeah, because
My people.
it's funny to me, like
Yeah.
there is more Irish people outside Ireland
yeah.
than in Ireland.
Yeah.
Like for example, in the US you have 20 million.
50 million, I think.
50 million.
Yeah, like a fifth of the USA is
Wow.
Irish American. Well, you see, a lot of these people would have left Ireland 200 years ago. We were always, unfortunately, a country of emigration for so many years. It was only in the 1990s when our economy started to pick up that people started to say, oh, wow, things are doing good. Maybe time to go home. But then the economy crashed again in 2010. And now on my Facebook feed, I see people that I went to school with and they're holding like Australian passports and Canadian passports. And it kind of sounds strange because I'm happy for them. But I'm also sad that
It's
my
two
country
ways.
couldn't
Yeah, it's a two
provide the living that they wanted or that they needed. You almost feel like you kind of let them down. You've kind of disappointed them. So how do I feel about that? It's unfortunate. We've just... It should be so much easier. We're such a small country. As we were saying earlier on, build the infrastructure, build the trains, extend the Luas to the airport. If you want to stop gangs and gangs of people just sitting around being bored, build them like a hall. Give them like a basketball court. Give them like a football pitch. Like prioritize, give kids some good facilities, and that will help solve things. Because there seemed to be a thing in Ireland for many years where it's like you go to school, you start working, and then you go to the pub. And that's where you go. That's what you do. But life isn't like that anymore. We need to give people options,
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
So let's see if you have more. Oh, we still have here.
Ooh.
By the way, another one. What is the best place to visit in Rush? Emerson Gardenche.
My house.
Ooh,
Everyone,
after party in Rush's house.
After party in my house right now. Sign out of your laptops. Sign out of your phones. We're all going to my house. And Bob is paying for all of the beer. Yeah, he's a good
Bob
guy.
is young.
yeah. To be quite honest, like anybody who follows me, they're kind of like, what is this crazy place, Rush, that he keeps on talking about? Because no one's ever heard of it. Because I always kind of found that, like, when Brazilian people arrive here, you guys are sold packages. And you're told, go to Holt, go to Dunleary, go see the big lovely castle in Malahide, and yay! And then go see the deers in the Phoenix Park. And they're all nice things, but there's different
not
things.
the real thing.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, and
It's like go to Rio, stay in Copacabana.
exactly.
It's not the
And,
real
like,
thing.
I did the tourist thing for 2 or 3 days, but then like one of my best friends in Rio was living in a place called Jardim Sulacapi, which is not Barra da Tijuca or anything like that. That was with like really cool, authentic people,
I did athleticism in Sulacap.
Oh,
when
really?
I was a teenager,
Yeah, so that's where I stayed in Rio.
Yeah.
So we have more Heineken here, guys.
Yeah.
We have the Dutch stuff here.
Dutch stuff.
Sláinte. Saúde. There you go, Bob. Oh, he's got it down here. There you go. Sláinte, saúde. So best place to go to Rush. Let's see. First of all, to get to Rush, if you're on public transport, the number 33 bus goes from Abbey Street.
Abbey Street.
Yeah, from Abbey Street. And then from Connolly Station, you get the Drogheda train. So you would get off in Rush. Now, I would recommend getting the bus because it leaves you actually in the town. And we have 2 beaches. We've got beautiful harbours. We've got lovely little restaurants. Quick plug for my sister. She manages actually a restaurant called Jack the Bachelor's, which is in Rush. Amazing food. There's also the Harbour Bar, which is amazing food as well. That won awards for best Irish pub restaurant food, like from all of Ireland in a couple of years in a row. And so I'd recommend the Harbour Bar. Go to Jack the Bachelor's. We have cycle walks. We have cliff walks. If you are adventurous, we have lots of people who go windsurfing, kite surfing. So if the tide is in and the waves are strong and you like water sports, there's that kind of thing. And the South Beach is one of the longest beaches in Dublin. So if you have a dog or you have you like football or whatever, bring the ball, go running around. So it's a quiet place.
It's good to spend
really
a weekend.
yeah, it is. Like I remember, like sometimes maybe if I sleep in Dublin city centre, I'm like, I hear something. Because I just grew up in such a... and I honestly think being from Rush helped make me who I am. Because you kind of appreciate family and close friends. And not just kind of looking on people on the street as strangers. Like, I had to stop myself years ago from saying hello to everybody. No matter where I went. I'm like, Ross, I'm sure you mean well, but you're just wasting your time, man. Just stop saying hello to dogs and cats and the lovely old lady and lovely man and hello. So I hope that answered that question.
We still, more to, If you wanted to live in Brazil, where would you be in? Why and why? If you wanted to live in Brazil, where would you be?
Yeah, it's always
why?
And why? Okay, well, it's always a difficult question because Brazil is so diverse. It would feel like where I would be in my life at that time. If I wanted sun, I'd be thinking probably, and sand, I'd be thinking about like Northeast, like Bahia, Ceará, and Pernambuco and stuff like that. If I was thinking about the quiet country life, I'd be thinking about somewhere in Rio Grande do Sul, or even some parts of Santa Catarina are very rural as well, because people always just think of Floripa when they think of Santa Catarina. Floripa kind of overtakes Santa Catarina when it has other places like there's like Joinville and
My dad's family's from there.
oh really?
Santa Catarina.
Oh cool. Oh yeah, I was in Florianopolis 2 years ago. Yeah, I've been in 6 states in Brazil actually.
I've been in Florianopolis 2 months ago.
Oh really?
I spent the New Year's Eve there. Oh man, it was amazing.
What I love about Floripa,
And I've got COVID.
You got COVID and all.
Yeah.
Parabéns pra você. I've escaped COVID. But to answer the question, it would depend what kind of atmosphere I was in my life at that time.
Gotcha.
If I was feeling like countryside, I want to be a gaucho. If I want to get the sun and the sand, I'd go up to Salvador and all those kind of places.
Okay.
So it's hard to say, but thank you for the question. Because I'm ridiculous. My friends will tell you I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. So I can't even tie my shoelaces half of the
Everything
time.
can
So
change,
yeah, everything can change exactly.
And last one but not least,
Uh-huh.
Artisan tag. One of the similarities between Ireland and Brazil is the resilience they both built over the years.
Good. I will go with that because from my background as like diploma in Irish history and then taking an interest in Brazilian history, I will definitely agree with that because your path to freedom was a lot different to ours. You got your freedom because basically Napoleon was about to come along and then the Portuguese king was like, no, wait, let's leave Lisbon and set up a parliament in Rio. And then, what's that famous phrase in Brazilian history? Is it Dom Pedro? He said, I will stay, or I'm staying.
É o dia do fico.
Yeah, due to, yeah.
Eu fico.
Yeah.
I stay.
Yeah, I stay. So you kind of just got it by default. Whereas we had to like break into the GPO and like get rifles and all this kind of stuff. But
This is for another episode.
yeah, different resilience.
Yeah.
Completely different resilience, but I would agree with that. We were both, victims of colonization, I suppose. And even linguistically, it's interesting because I remember one or two of my Brazilian friends, they would say to me, but you're Irish and you don't speak Irish. And I'm like, yeah, but why aren't you speaking 2P? It's like, and like I didn't even mean that in a bad way. I just meant, unfortunately, we're both speaking the language of the people who visited us hundreds of years ago. I didn't even mean that in a bad way at all.
I know.
It was just more, I'm speaking English because of the English. You're speaking Portuguese because of the Portuguese. Whereas what I'm happy about in Ireland at the moment is, and I know it's the same, unfortunately it's not the same all the way across the education system in Brazil, where there's a dedicated class for learning 2P, which I think there should be. But in Ireland right now has the highest amount of young Irish speakers in Ireland than ever, like since the 19th century, because we've set up something called Gael School, which literally means in English, Irish school. So from the age of 4, if you register to this, what's called the Gael School, the kids will learn all of their subjects through the Irish language, like for all the way through school. So you've got 4 or 5 year olds with better better Irish than most Irish people,
Wow.
because they're surrounding themselves in the language. When you learned English, Bob, you make your mistakes. You sound like a silly person for a while, and then it's like, okay, maybe tomorrow I'll be better at that. You learn to make your mistakes. And in school in Ireland, we were kind of given verbs, and it's just like even some of my Brazilian friends will say to me, Ross, what's the past participle adjective? It's like, I don't know. I didn't learn English that way. Same way you didn't grow up speaking Portuguese going, oh, is this the past case? You just knew what... I hated it, man. Yeah. So... Yeah, definitely, educational resilience as well. Yeah, I would agree with that, whoever sent that in. Thank you for that question. That's awesome. That is
I'd
cool.
say thank you for coming, man.
No worries.
Yeah. Guys, Russ,
Absolute pleasure.
thanks again.
No problem.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Thales, I mean, when you sent me that message, I was like, you know what? I haven't done anything like this before. Let's just do it. Because what I loved about the prospect of doing this podcast is, we were talking about this off air. When I do my Instagram stuff, or I'm doing stuff on eDublin or YouTube or whatever, it's always fast because you can only have a certain amount of time. But today you let me relax and just talk, and this is how I usually speak, guys.
And I hope you'll come back.
I will. Now that I know where your house is, and that Bob promised he'd buy us a load of free beer, I mean, I'm in. Oh, I thought you said no way. He said no worries. Great.
Yeah, no, no worries.
No way or no worries. Shit.
So,
Okay.
guys, your words?
Oh, any last words?
Yeah.
Guys, please follow Bob and Thales right here.
Thank you so much.
Right here. You see it? You got all these different cameras, and you got to just follow the lads. They are doing their best to give everybody a voice.
Yes.
People who are trying their best in the community to make our lives better. I'd like to think anybody who sits in this table is only trying to make people's lives better and educate them. And if you guys can facilitate that, you are very welcome here. And
that's why we're here.
Absolutely. I just wish you guys the best of luck. And
Thank you so much. Man.
if you guys want to check me out on Instagram as well, and talk to Ross if you didn't know, and make sure that you follow the guys. They're like on Twitch, they're on the moon, they're in Australia, they're on Instagram, they're on websites you've never heard of. So make sure you follow the guys. They're doing really, really good work for the community here and giving everyone a voice. So
Nice,
thank
man.
you so much.
Thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for staying with us until now. If you're not subscribing our channel, please do it now. And follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch,
MySpace,
Orkut,
Orkut.
Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Orkut. Wow.
We're on Orkut, yeah.
We are back next week. No.
De novo.
We will be back on next week with Nanda and Rafaela. So yeah, the two badass girls.
Two
next
badass
week.
girls.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm
So, yeah.
afraid.
See you all next week. Faith in God and in the kids. See
Keep it
you.
alive, kids. Boa noite.
Boa noite, guys. Thank you so much.
Ciao. Thank
Have
you.
a nice evening and God bless you.